99% of men never do this, and yet it's precisely the thing that naturally attracts women. It might sound slightly exaggerated at first, but stop for a moment and really consider it. How many men have you come across who are attractive, confident, and even financially successful, but still struggle to build genuine, meaningful connections with women? The truth is, it isn't about looks, money, or social status. What many men fail to recognize are the small but incredibly powerful habits that can make someone unforgettable. These are the subtle details that work beneath the level of conscious awareness, the quiet signals that speak directly to a woman's emotional core without her even realizing what is taking place. And the most frustrating thing for most men is that these habits aren't complicated. They don't require expensive gifts, elaborate plans, or years of experience. They simply require awareness, intention, and the willingness to step outside the shallow patterns that most men naturally fall into. Clears throat. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 things women secretly desire, even though they rarely communicate them directly. These aren't the typical cliché flirting techniques, but subtle psychological triggers rooted in human nature and timeless stoic wisdom that can completely change the way a woman views you and experiences your presence. If you haven't understood these principles yet, you're missing the kind of attraction that remains in her mind long after you've walked away. And that's the kind of attraction that truly matters. Not the temporary interest that disappears the moment you're out of sight, but the deep, lasting impression that causes her to remember you weeks or even months afterward. Before we continue, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the insights that could potentially change everything for you. Let's begin. The first secret: the power of touch before intimacy. Imagine yourself on a date. The conversation is flowing naturally. You're both laughing, everything feels comfortable, and yet something still feels absent. There's a subtle sense that the connection hasn't completely developed. You walk her home, send her a message later, and then nothing. No reply. This is where most men get it wrong. They assume attraction is built only through words, humor, interesting stories, or clever conversation. But human connection is much more complicated than that. Women connect not just with what you say, but with how they feel when they're around you. Your energy, your presence, and your physical awareness all matter. One of the most overlooked ways to strengthen that emotional connection is through touch. Not aggressive or forceful touching, but touch that feels natural, gentle, and respectful. A light, non-sexual touch before intimacy can completely change the dynamic. A soft touch on her arm, a gentle hand on her lower back, or briefly holding her hand. Small gestures like these can communicate more than countless words ever could. Without saying anything, they communicate, "I care about you. You're safe with me. I'm completely present right now." The biggest mistake men make is connecting touch with expectations. They touch because they want something in return, and women can often sense that intention immediately. Instead of producing comfort, it creates pressure. But when a man is capable of offering touch without expecting anything in return, he separates himself from the rest. He becomes someone who creates a feeling of safety, and safety is the foundation of genuine attraction. Think about that for a moment. When you touch her arm while making a point or gently guide her through a crowd with your hand on her back, you're doing more than creating physical contact. You're communicating that you're a leader, a protector, and someone who is aware of her presence. It's a silent form of communication that goes beyond words, and it's something women have responded to instinctively for centuries. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Stop arguing about what a good man is. Be one." Music, remain calm, centered, and self-aware. Most men never fully grasp this principle, which is why they struggle to create meaningful connections. But the men who understand it become unforgettable because they realize that attraction isn't a transaction. It's an experience. And that experience starts with how you make her feel during the smallest and quietest moments. The second secret: the art of flirting with respect. Many men tend to fall into one of two extremes. Either they flirt so much that they come across as desperate, or they restrain themselves so much that they never reveal their interest at all. The truth lies somewhere between those two extremes. Women enjoy flirting when it feels natural, respectful, and confident. It's not about memorizing pickup lines or desperately trying to impress her. It's about energy. It's about creating a